Well, since survival is obviously a basic component of any human expedition into the North or South Polar region, this next activity is all about survival, in particular insulation, just as we were talking about a moment ago. What we're going to do is construct survival suits. We're going to focus on the hands and make gloves out of any insulative material that you wish to choose from at this table. First off, I'd like you to each get a couple of these plastic bags. These are the zipper-topped plastic bags that allow you to seal them up once you've filled them with material. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a control bag, because we're going to run a series of experiments here. We need to have both a control and an experimental glove. The control glove would be what? The one that's just the same every time, basically an empty bag, in this case without much insulation. So we start by opening up one glove, like this, get it sort of ready to be opened. The next step is a little more complex, and that's why we're just going to show you all how to do it right here live. We open up the second bag and turn it inside out. Like this. Now this particular brand of bag helps you out because it's got a red zipper and a blue zipper. And what you do then is you take the inside out bag, put it on your hand, and stuff it into the normal bag so that the one red and one blue match up. The two reds won't go together, so the blue goes with the red and the red goes with the blue. Now zipper lock that bag all the way around. And what you're creating, of course, is a sort of non-insulative control bag. Now, the experimental glove will look just like the control glove, only what you want to do in this case is you want to choose from these insulated materials and stuff that stuff down here in the side, and it gets sealed in between the two baggies. Okay? Well, design away. This is your survival glove. Additional bags. There's some scissors here. While they're getting started on that, I'll just sort of show to everybody else here what we've got. We've got a variety of styrofoam packing materials here. We have some sheets of leather that have been cut up and ready to go. You'll all recognize this. This is that bubble wrap stuff with tops. We've got some cotton balls, some terry cloth, a variety of cotton, and perhaps some woolen material there. Oh, and somebody has zippered open a down pillow, so they're pulling the feathers out of this pillow. We'll have feathers all over everything here. Sneezy. But the real question is, how do you think animals insulate themselves in the wild?
Through their fur.
Fur, okay, which we sort of are simulating here with some of these materials. How else?
The fat.
Fat. Yes, sirree. Animals in the cold Arctic zones usually have layers of fat underneath their skin between their the exterior exposure and their vital organs inside. And so one of the gloves that we've pre-prepared here is a glove that makes use of lard, which is an animal fat material. We've just done the same old inside-outside glove. We've got lard in the inner material here. Richard, for the fun of it, for the fun of it, I'm going to have you be prepared to do your cotton ball and your lard glove.
Ooh,
it looks exciting, yeah. And then I'm going to try the very gloves that we were talking about earlier, the actual polar expedition gloves that I used in the North Arctic. This is a polar fleece material again with a Gore-Tex lining. I'll do that and the proverbial control. How's that? Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, for the ice water Arctic dip. Here we go. We've got our various gloves on. Everybody hold them up here. We've got the control glove, in most cases on our left, but not all cases. Renee's the renegade. And I've got the commercial version here, ready for the Arctic. You've got Mr. Cotton. You've got the towel, terry cloth and bubbles, styrofoam there, and last but not least, the lovely down variety. So at the count of 3, we're going to just stick our hands in this ice water, and as soon as you start noticing anything, describe it. Let's see how we're doing. You can make your own predictions at home or out here in the audience as to what you think will be the most insulative glove of the batch. Are you ready?
Here we go.
Here goes. 1, 2, 3. So what do you notice right off the bat?
It's cold. Control hand.
The control hand is cold. Yeah, okay. Well, that was the purpose of the control, to sort of give you something that would be a normal condition without the insulation. How are your various gloves doing?
I should have used more cotton.
Figured that out right away, did you, Richard?
In a hurry.
Yeah, so where you like the gaps between the cotton
My
balls?
fingertips are exposed.
Yeah, so that cotton shifted in there, which gives you some indication about a quality cotton glove versus a low-cost cotton glove, perhaps.
I won't squint next time.
Anybody else?
My hand is very cold.
Very cold. cold.
Very
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
But with the styrofoam, it's still.
You can't feel anything at all with styrofoam? How about the down? Nothing? Comfy, huh? Richard, you want to shift between your cotton glove and your blubber glove there?
Let's try the blubber glove.
Let's try the lard glove and just see how that insulation does. We'll all start dancing here with our control hands pretty quick because it'll get plenty cold. How are we doing with the temperature? Too cold for the control. Owie, owie, owie. Yeah. How about Miss Feather?
I don't feel
Miss
anything.
Feather bed, no problem. Teresa?
I still really don't feel anything.
Terrific.
I can tell where the air is and where it's not.
Okay, so those air pockets now are getting cold, and so that's passing on to your body. How's Mr. Blubber?
Lard is my friend.
All right, Richard. I have to sort of admit to something here. These gloves are really best in windy conditions, not so much in straight water, and the seams are allowing moisture to leak. And just for the fun of it, I'll pull this out and show you that, see, that inner glove is getting wet already. And so if I was dropped into the open ocean in these gloves, I'd be in trouble, wouldn't I? Wouldn't be sealed like a wetsuit. Okay, you can pull your hands out there. How do you suppose animals in the wild adapt to this cold? What are some of the other things besides the fat layers that they have that help them stay warm and insulated? Fur. Polar bears are a real anomaly. They're kind of an interesting piece. What color do we all think of polar bears?
White.
White, absolutely. When you ask a kid what color is a polar bear, they say white. It's not true. Polar bear skin is actually dark. Now, why do they look white?
The fur is white.
Well, interesting enough, the fur is more clear than white. Polar bears have this outer guard hair layer that's mostly hollow hair follicles. There's two reasons for that hollow hair. What do you suppose it is?
To trap air?
Trap air, absolutely, because polar bears spend a lot of their time in the water. Yeah, they're swimming around in this stuff, if you can imagine that. If they trap that air, it does two things. Helps them stay buoyant and also gives them that air pocket insulation, Renee, which you were talking about in your glove. Basically, they've got a big bubble wrap around them with these empty hair follicles. The other thing that's interesting about those empty hair follicles is when light shines in them, the light will pass all the way through to the skin and warms the dark skin, as most of us know. Black skin, like Teresa's suit there, would soak up that heat. And some of it's reflected back out, and it's that reflected light that makes a polar bear look white. So the next time somebody asks you what color a polar bear is, you've got the right answer.